Welcome to the Gentleman Fantasy Podcast finale. I am your host, Kyle, and with me tonight, it's not Robert Rushlow. It is fantasy champion, Mr. Ted. I'm sorry. Ted's proxy. The guy who took care of Ted's team all season long. Ed Shimmick is my co-host tonight. Ed, how is it tonight?
Oh, just lovely. Almost as sexy as Robert, though. Almost.
Almost. Now, Ed, how does it feel to call yourself a League of Ordinary Gentlemen fantasy football champion?
I don't know. It's kind of rough because everybody's going to say it's Ted.
Unfortunately, it is kind of how it's going to be, huh?
Yeah.
There's going to be an asterisk by this title.
I'll get over it. I mean, I'm still getting the money, so.
That's right. He's still getting the money. Since we got you here, and of course, tonight's going to be an all-call-in night. Now, this finale is going to be a two-part finale. Robert had some issues. He could not be here tonight, so I called up my neighbor, my buddy Ed, and I said, Ed, get your ass over here. You won the league. It is time for you to shine.
Yeah, you're struggling there for a shiner, but I'll do my best.
So Ed and I are going to be calling around to the league tonight. We're going to get everyone's input on their teams throughout the season. We're going to get everyone's input on the league going forward. And next week, Robert and I will be back. Potentially, this might be a New Year's Eve special. Robert and I will come back, and we're going to do like our end of the year. We're going to do all of our we're going to do all the board bets. We're going to do some prop bets. We're going to do the talk about the skins games, payouts. We're going to talk about maybe some crazy potential rule changes, all that kind of stuff. But for now, we're going to bask in the glory of what it's like to drop a Brown.
It feels amazing.
Ed won 108.9 to 99.4. Beat Travis. And going in to the Monday night game, Travis had Case Keenum and Phillip Lindsay. And the projected score, if Keenum and Lindsay scored what their projections were, would have had Travis at 108.8. So going into that night, it looked like it was going to be a barn burner. And just as I told Travis the day before, it's that Saturday before, he said, who should I start? I said, start Sam Darnold. He's going against the Packers defense. Sam Darnold would have won on the championship. People, you got to listen to me.
I mean, it's the Packers defense. They blow nuts.
The Packers defense is, and they had nothing to play for.
No, they're just downright horrible.
Yeah,
if you have their quarterback that's going against them, or their tight end.
Or their tight end. Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, and they had nothing to play for except for Aaron Rodgers felt like he had something to play for, even though he sucked all season long, and now in the meaningless game, he puts up 40 points. But we'll get to that later.
I mean, he still looked like he sucked. It's just he decided to have somebody catch a ball for him.
Yeah, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, a 2-point conversion.
And a hobble in.
Yeah, I don't get it. Ed took care of business. Hopefully we'll talk to Los later, and he will give us the power rankings. And I got to say, Ed, you look at the power rankings this year, you pretty much killed us all season long.
I had some good scorers. I mean, those 2 running backs that I had, they're just, I don't know.
You were lucky enough to have the number 1 pick, okay? Then had the foresight.
I don't know if I consider that lucky. I mean, I just really fucking sucked last year.
Oh, but you had the number 1 pick, and you made the correct pick. Because I can't tell you how many times during our league the number 1 pick has been the wrong pick.
Oh, I'll tell you without a doubt, I had no intention of picking Bell. Never.
Well, there you, and Gurley worked out for you, and you had the foresight to pick up James Conner, which turned into basically having Bell. So you ended up with the number 1 and number 2 pick in the draft. Ryan ended up with no first-round pick.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah. And on top of that, you had such a stacked team this year. I mean, it worked out so well for you. You had your team, your players were performing and weren't getting hurt that you were able to keep enough of your waiver budget to be able to pick up Jalen Samuels late.
Oh, yeah.
And the biggest grab.
I don't know who that guy is, though. That Anderson guy is just...
Your boy C. Anderson.
Where the hell did he come from?
Had him for 1 week. Had him for the final. subbed him in for Todd Gurley. 22 points out of C.J. Anderson, basically propelling you to the victory there.
I mean, it's like he sat on my bench all year 1 year.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and by the way, I did try to give you advice.
You did.
I did try to tell you to start Nick Foles last week.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
I don't know if you heard that. I told you to start Nick Foles in the podcast last week, which would have worked even better for you.
It would have. It would have got me, what, 10 more points?
Exactly 10 more points.
Yeah.
And you just put Travis out of his misery before Monday night, which this is probably better because Travis was just
Well, this just gave him
biting nails.
That gave him that little bit of hope so I could tear it away.
That's right. Got to have that hope, right? Well, let's get into it. It's time to make some phone calls. Joining us on the Hot Stuff Pizzeria hotline right now, my compadre, Robert Rushlow.
Hi.
How's it going? I got our league champion, Ed, with us right now.
What's up, you beautiful
Ed,
man?
Good work, buddy. Proud of you.
Dreams do come true.
Dreams
do come true.
Yeah, just not mine. It's okay, though.
Hey, no, your dream totally came true. You have the 6th pick, your favorite pick.
Absolutely. Nightmares are dreams, too. It's like the Twilight Zone where the same thing happens over and over, and I'm in an inescapable loop.
That's right. You know, the funny thing is you claim you like the 6th pick, but you end up with the 6th pick every year, which is telling me you should probably try to aim for somewhere else.
Well, honestly, Kyle, it's not like I'm not trying to win the league. It's just what happens.
I mean,
I just like that spot when I'm picking. It's not like
you could
I'm
go
not
for a
throwing
tank
games
too
or
there,
anything.
Bobo. Just tank it and get a better pick.
It's a good point. Next year, I'm going to draft a loser team and win the league. It'll be great.
That's what Ryan and Steve do. They go from worst to top 3 all the time.
I mean, that's not going to lie. That's what I did.
That's what Ed did.
Yeah, I've been doing it all wrong. You see, I've been drafting players that I research and are supposed to be really good, stuff like that. I should just be picking whatever. It's just random stuff. And
Just send
it'll
Ted.
work for me.
That's right. You should just you should send a proxy in your place.
Yes. That would be cool. It's a good idea. I like that.
So you could miss your favorite day of the year.
No, I'll still be there. I'll just be the guy running the draft board, and someone else will draft my team right in front of me.
You'll be the auctioneer, and someone will draft your team for you.
I won't even say anything. I won't even try to stop them. Oh, $40 on, some Brando. It's a great idea. I love it.
Eddie Lacy, wasn't he cut last year?
Gronk, yeah, he's looking so good. He's making a comeback.
Hey, somebody's got to be the party animal.
Right?
Well, I was telling everybody, and I apologize for reiterating all this. This is going to be a 2-part finale. We're calling around the league tonight, and next week, Robert, you and I are going to get together, and we are going to hash out all the board bets, all the skins. We're going to talk some crazy rule change ideas for the next year. We're going to talk players going forward. Is Aaron Rodgers a top 40 quarterback? Things of that nature.
Well, he was last weekend.
Fucking Rodgers. He fucked me out of like $200.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Did he fuck you, or did you fuck yourself by not playing?
Oh no, I fucked me out of $200, but he fucked me by sucking all year and then scoring 40 points in a meaningless game.
Hey, if you took the time to listen to the press conference, I mean, he sounded like he wanted to play hide, and goddamn it, he did.
It only took him 16 weeks to decide to play hard.
No.
Well,
I
it
think
took Philip Rivers 16 weeks to decide he wanted to stop playing any good. So.
Yeah, how about that? What was that? It was like a negative 2.3 from Rivers?
Yeah, apparently I severely underestimated the Baltimore defense. I knew they were good, but god damn, I didn't know they were unbelievable forces to be reckoned with.
Yep.
I might draft them next year with a fucking 2-pick or something.
Crawl will.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So-
I better take them in the first round.
how bad did your board bet end up there?
Oh, Mahomes slaughtered him.
Yeah, Mahomes. It wouldn't have been close. Rivers could have had 100 points, and I still wouldn't have been even in the ballpark.
Mahomes may have put up one of the the best fantasy quarterback seasons of all time. I don't know what the numbers are, but
Well,
It has to be close if it's not the best season by a player. And I can't think, like, maybe with Daniels out, I'd have to look.
yeah, that one
But he
season
had-
where LT had like 30 some touchdowns was pretty crazy.
well, I
Yeah.
was reading on ESPN. Do you think he actually has a chance at MVP?
Mahomes?
Yeah.
Shouldn't he be the MVP?
Well, so would he be Rookie of the Year and MVP?
He's not a rookie.
Oh, he's not a rookie. No, never mind.
No.
How
Yeah,
long?
Mahomes
He's
can't
been
get
in there
Rookie of
3
the
years,
Year.
huh?
Yeah, no, only Ben Simmons can do that in the NBA, be a sophomore player and win Rookie of the Year.
Right, exactly. But the amount of time played or
I
whatever.
thought he
is
was in
some
there
weird
3 years, wasn't he?
stipulation that.
No, Mahomes was a rookie last year.
Was he?
They drafted him in the top 10 last year and sat him behind Smith.
Well, that was a dumb idea.
Well, like everyone else in the world, nobody knew he was going to be that damn good. Alex Smith was a good quarterback. You don't figure Mahomes was going to just show up and become the second coming of Johnny Unitas.
I don't want to talk what ifs, but I said this before, even when we did our first podcast, before the season even started, that when we talked about me picking Rodgers so high, I said I was picking Rodgers, or if I didn't pick Rodgers, I was going to wait and overdraft Mahomes, which probably would have
Right.
worked out in my favor, although I would not have I'm sure you can't just swap one for one, because if I wouldn't have drafted Rodgers there, my roster would have been completely different. Because
Right.
I wouldn't have valued guys in the rounds that I did. So
Yeah.
I'm sure I would have had a completely different team, but I could have had Mahomes because that was my second target at quarterback.
Yeah, and then you wouldn't have an empty envelope coming to you.
Ouch.
Yeah, well,
Hey, look on the bright side. At least you get an envelope. I don't get an envelope.
and I would have had high points in the playoffs too had I just played Rodgers.
Yeah, he what was it, like 40 fucking some odd points?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Not fun. So since you're here, we're talking to everybody about their teams this year. And I know
Okay.
we've heard ad nauseum about your team this season.
Yeah. Do we need to go back into this?
Not
I
really.
don't think we need to cue up the sad music again. But
They were good enough to
obviously my
beat me.
dreams didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, you did beat Ed. You can say that you beat the champion.
You were one of two people to
One
beat
of two
me.
teams to beat Ed this year.
That's right, Ed. You may have taken everyone else out, but I had your number,
I
buddy.
think I gotta take that back. One of three teams. Because Zach beat me too in that.
Oh, Zach did beat you. Yep. So you had Phillip Rivers ended up finishing 8th overall at quarterback.
Yep.
Is that? I think he ended basically where I thought he was going to end.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he would be a top 10 guy. I drafted him after. What was I, like one of the last people to take a quarterback?
You were not. You drafted him before a lot of good quarterbacks.
Yeah, but
that was the
everyone
whole
else- a lot
joke.
of
We were just like,
A lot
what
of
are
the
you
leagues
doing?
had a quarterback taken before I picked Rivers, though.
Where did Ted take my quarterbacks?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Shit,
You were
Luke
probably
had
one.
two quarterbacks before I picked
Who did?
Rivers, I think.
Who did?
I said, didn't Luke have two quarterbacks before I took Rivers?
Oh yeah, because he drafted Mahomes and someone else. He had
Alex
Mahomes
Smith?
and another. I mean, Mahomes was potentially his backup to start the season.
Right. Anyways, yeah. So I thought Rivers would be good, and he was. He was 20 points a week, solid play most weeks. Obviously, minus this last one where he was obviously disappointing.
Where it
but,
really mattered.
I took the receivers I liked. Thielen and Woods paid off. I thought they were
Yeah.
really good.
What about the other receiver you liked? What happened to the guy from San Francisco?
Oh, Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah, you drafted him high.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Garoppolo and everyone else are different people, I guess. When I drafted Goodwin, I thought Jimmy G was going to, target the shit out of him like he was last year, and then he got hurt. So Goodwin took a back seat, and since then the 49ers have been sort of just piecing together weird games where nobody's all that productive except your boy Kittle.
Yeah. I mean, you had good wide receivers. I think your downfall this year was in two spots. Okay. Number one, you just rode the tight end carousel all year because your boy Jordan Reed couldn't stay healthy.
Right.
He had a good run, though. He had a good run.
And
He played the season for the most part.
he did play, which is
Yes.
more than he could say for other years.
Right.
And ironically, the other downfall for you was a spot that it seemed like you were strong at, but you never had guys putting it together at the same time, was your running backs.
Yeah, I was torn between Kamara and David Johnson when it came time for me to pick. I thought Ingram was going to be a big force when he came back, so I was a little shy on Kamara. I thought Zeke was going to fall to me because I didn't think David Johnson would make it down to my pick, and then he did, and I was like, well, what do I do? So I took David Johnson thinking that, a broken hand wouldn't change him from the best running back in football to this mediocre piece of shit. But
Yeah, that
and behold,
hand slowed his running down, apparently.
He sucked
Yeah,
last year, too,
who knew?
Bobble.
Yeah, of course, because he didn't play last year.
I know. I had him on my team.
Oh, yeah.
Fucker.
And that's why Ed had the first pick. So thank you, David Johnson.
So, yeah, so that definitely hurt. And then, fortunately, my just extreme belief in Aaron Jones and my boy, Kerryon Johnson.
Amazing.
Yeah, you conned me
Really
into
carried the team.
You conned me into that drop there. That I was supposed to retire that last week. This is the final carry-on drop.
You can't say his name and not do the drop.
Oh no, I can
But,
now.
But they came in out of nowhere and started putting up points, and that's kind of how I snuck into the playoffs anyways, despite not having a ton of production on the top end of my draft. But I don't know. It was an average year. Shit goes wrong with every team. I can't say I'm special or anything, but yeah.
No,
didn't make
you
a ton of-
were exactly average.
Yeah.
You were 100% in the middle.
I thought Royce Freeman would be better. I thought, Jordan Howard would be better. Like you said, the position that I thought I was strongest at ended up being my downfall. So,
But you weren't. It wasn't that you had terrible running backs. It was the fact that you didn't have any of them that distinguished themselves.
right?
You
it was
just
all
had a bunch of
situational.
guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's hard to week gauge what you have when you don't know which guy is going to perform on a week-to-week basis.
Agreed.
Not everybody can get lucky and just make pickups and have them score 20-some points.
Yeah, like in the finals with C.J. Anderson.
Who's that guy?
Yeah. What the hell was that? That C.J. Anderson thing was ridiculous.
It was like 140 yards.
I gotta give Steve a little props. He told me to possibly pick him up.
Steve told you to pick him
little.
up? Jesus.
That was unbelievable.
Thanks, Steve.
I did not see that. I don't think anybody could have predicted a guy who just got picked up that week, knowing basically none of the playbook, just getting his ass run. What did he have? 30 touches?
He had 147 yards, I think.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
How could you not see that out of him? He was a keeper player.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't recognize player talent, and you see, I don't just go on waivers and grab guys that make no sense whatsoever and then just roll them out. So I guess I don't understand some things about fantasy. I'm actually
Hey.
going to sit in a room with you, Travis, and Ryan and have you explain to me what I'm doing wrong.
That's going to be a quiet
Hey,
conversation.
Speaking of Ryan, your arch nemesis, that is Ryan's playbook. He just picks up guys off of waivers and starts them, and it works. So you should probably learn something from him.
Well, to be fair, Ted lives with
I
him.
tried it a couple times. It just didn't
You know,
work.
that is a very good point. Ted does live with Ryan. Maybe Ted's just telling Ryan everything to do.
I think they just get drunk and throw all the waiver names on a big dartboard, and they just throw darts at it and just grab whoever it lands on.
No.
I'll spend $16 on is that Ito Smith? Ito? Is that how you say that? Let's do that one. Who does he play for? Oh yeah, Atlanta. They do stuff. They score points. Honestly.
Well,
Just don't
Sorry,
go
I'm
there.
not salty, I swear.
Just don't go to his house on Sundays because I think it's basically pajama Sundays, which is underwear Sundays.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I could do without that. I don't need a 7-foot wang in my face all day.
I mean, a
It's not in your
7-foot
face. He
wang
wears
would be
tidy whities. It's
impressive.
tucked in there
Yeah,
nice
why
and tight.
7-footers wang? No, I don't
No,
need that.
that's not what you said, though.
You know what I mean.
No, you said 7-foot wang.
I don't need a 7-foot wang hanging in my face.
That motherfucker would knock you out.
So
Yeah,
you've seen it, Ed.
Club?
I've hung out at their houses enough.
Hear that? He's hung out.
Hey, underwear Sunday.
This is where
I might
I need a
stop
rim
over. It sounds
shot
fun.
drop here. That was a good joke.
There you go.
Since we're gonna make the rounds here, Robert, I hate to do this to you.
No, it's fine. Honestly,
But-
the people have heard my voice enough.
But I hear you've got a great family circle for us today.
Oh God, no! I'm not, I can't.
Are you walk out into the garage? Let's do this.
I'm not going to lie, Bobbo, my lap is feeling kind of light. You could be sitting on it right now.
I wish I was, but the family. No, so I plan on being in person for this podcast. So
Yeah.
Apologies, world, for not being there. Apparently, I don't get to say or decide when people come to my house and basically trash the place, and hang out all night long. So I'm sitting here, there's Christmas presents everywhere in the morning. We didn't really clean up a ton yet. I had to work yesterday, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, I'm going to figure something out. I'm going to go over to Pope's, have some drinks, do the pod. It'll be great. I can finally enjoy one of my days off. Nope. All of a sudden, Nicole's like, my sister just sent me a message. She's coming over with her whole family, and we're going to have dinner and hang out. And I'm just like, oh. So she's just telling you that that's happening? She's like, yeah, she's on her way over.
Oh,
In what kind of world do you just tell somebody that you're going to their house? Like,
Big
it's
question.
ridiculous. With the
Hey, Robert,
exception
we'll
of
be
me
over in an
telling
hour.
You that.
What was for dinner?
Exactly. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh,
What-
by the way,
what did you make for dinner tonight here?
who
Who hot? So you didn't even make the dinner.
What the hell, you...
No, we went to the dinner, but they came here before and afterwards.
I was gonna say I didn't know who hot delivered.
That's the other thing. Like, I didn't really plan on shelling out $50 at Hoo-Ha either today, but lo and behold, that's what happened.
$50 for the whole family? That's not so bad.
No, it was adequate. It would have been less too, but I had a bunch of drinks. Cause speaking of which, before
you should have volunteered to pay for your sister-in-law and her family since you were hosting.
I should have done a lot of things that I didn't do. That being said, next when we do the next pod, since I got a lot of positive feedback about being hammered last week when we did the pod, I'll go ahead and get good and toasty before we start that one up at your place when we do the bets and all that stuff.
Hey, by the way, Ed's on his way right now.
I'm beyond my way right
Ed's
now,
got a
so,
family circle for us later.
hell
I don't
yeah.
need to talk about that.
Oh,
Ed-
God, Sam's
Ed
pregnant
is in-
again, isn't he?
Ed is in the good graces of his family
If,
right now.
if she is, there's a lot more to talk about.
Hey, the circumcisions don't always work. I'm just saying.
Circumcisions.
If she hasn't been pregnant by now, there's... Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Ed took my advice when he was at the hospital and got circumcised, got the kidney removed, gallbladder, appendix, tonsils, wisdom teeth, everything, right?
I was circumcised when I was born, but we'll go with...
well, they cut it a little shorter.
Over circumcised. Hey, I won't presume to know. I don't go to underwear Sunday, okay?
I will say I did get the snip. That I recommend it.
Ed recommends it.
Highly recommend.
You get to have a lot more fun with that.
Oh, don't we all?
It leaves more questions than answers for me. Nobody's cutting my junk, all right?
Well, on the bright side, I'm actually in the good graces of my family right now, so that'll
Fair
last
enough.
about, I don't know, 7 hours.
Till tonight.
Yeah, it all depends how late I end up doing this, or if we wake the child up.
Hey, make sure you get everyone else called up. Power through it. Let me know how it goes.
Hey, here's
I'll
a little
see you guys next
secret
week.
for you. You're not going to hear this on the podcast, but we called like 4 people before we called you, and nobody answered. Even though
What
I
a
sent out a
bunch of
message.
shit, man.
It was a really good start.
It was a great start.
Awesome.
All right. Well, Robert, we will catch you next week.
Catch you later, bitches.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll do this on New Year's Eve before we leave, or do you want to do it someday next week?
That's a solid plan, because then I can get... Ooh, wait. I can't get all fucked up for that then, because I have to play drums.
Very good point. We'll do it someday next week. So expect to
All
see
right.
it some day before, well, probably Friday it'll drop again.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Until next week. We'll catch you later, Robert.
Hooters?
All right. We're going to give Jason a call here.
Bill?
Jason, you are talking to Kyle and Ed. You are on the pod.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We're hanging in here. I am just sitting right next to me is the champion, Ed Shimmick. Jason, what do you have to say to Ed?
Gotta say congrats for drafting such a great team.
Yes.
Well, you mean Ted?
No, it was all me. It was all me.
Yeah, Ted drafted the great.
I don't know why you keep adding a T to my name.
That's right.
Right. It was all Ed.
It was all Ed. Jason, you had a year. We'll put it that way.
I did. It was a roller coaster.
It was a roller coaster. You made a trade. It worked out in your favor, but it didn't benefit you or the guy you made the trade with.
Right. Right.
That would be me. And
Yeah.
How do you feel like your season went?
It went as much as I could have expected. I didn't think I was gonna. I didn't think I was gonna make the playoff. To be honest with you, after the rough start I had. So.
Well, I mean, it was a rough start. Your team showed life. Wilson came back with a vengeance and actually played really well down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
You had
It
some,
seemed like every week just one player or two just like didn't show up for me.
yeah. I mean, you did honestly half of the season. You had a very solid showing.
Yeah.
You got your. I lost the paper. You got the 7th draft pick, which means
Yes,
you
yeah.
lost the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, but you pulled one out with Justin.
Yep.
I mean, how did it feel to have your first year of League of Ordinary Gentlemen football under your belt?
It's good to get one under my belt. Just get in the groove and just see how everything goes, and yeah, it was fun. I look forward to next year.
And now you know what you're in for.
Right.
And as you've heard enough shit talking from the rest of us, I'm sure you'll be ready to dish some out next year.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and we got a possible auction draft next year too. So
we'll get
pretty
in.
interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that one next week. Robert and I, we're doing a 2-parter because Robert couldn't make it tonight. You'll hear that at the beginning of the podcast if you listen.
Okay.
But we're gonna talk about some crazy shit that we might propose for next season. But yeah, we just wanted to check in with you.
Yeah.
And say thank you for a wonderful first year.
Yeah, likewise. And the podcast was pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Jason. By the way, and you said this was your first podcast you've listened to.
Yeah, correct.
Let's just say you put the bar very low.
Well, you're going to have some other listeners. I have a feeling. Didn't Rob say that there's somebody that started listening that's not even in the league?
That is true. We're calling.
That's one of our dart parties.
By the way, we're calling him tonight
Are
too.
we?
Yeah, we are.
Nice. That is awesome.
Oh.
No, yeah, it's awesome. It's fun.
All right. Well, thanks, Jason. We'll catch you on the flip side, and see you at the party.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
All right. Catch you later, bud.
Later, guys.
Ed's dying.
Well.
This one should be good. If he answers, I don't think he even knows what a podcast is.
No?
No.
Or the fact that he would have won the league if he wouldn't have.
This is Luke's phone. Please leave me a message.
His wife still does that.
Yes, his wife is still
At the
his
tone,
answering
please
machine.
record your message. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Builder. Hey, it's Kyle and Ed. You're on the Gentleman Fantasy Football Podcast. And we wanted to talk to you about your train wreck of a team that only if you could have beat me in the first round of the playoffs, you would have won your first championship. But you didn't answer, so go fuck yourself.
Oh, jeez. Getting harsh right away.
That's how it works with Luke.
Hello, this is Ryan.
Oh, Ryan. You are on the
Dude, what is
phone.
up?
You are on the phone with Pope and Ed. You are on the podcast.
Hi, Ryan.
Oh, nice. I'm so honored, guys. Thank you. The privilege is all mine.
No, you should thank yourself for having such a shitty team this year.
Well, it was a rebuilding year this year, to be honest with you. They can't always be championship wins, and we're just gonna look to rebound in 2019.
I mean, I don't really understand it, Ryan, since you live with the guy that drafted the number one team.
Yeah.
Did he give you no pointers at all?
Ted won his first championship in the league this year. He's not even in the league.
You added a T to the name again.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, when I first joined this league 10 years ago, and you were going to ask me whether
Uh-oh.
Ed was going to win
Who asked you?
I was going to win 4. I probably would have said I was going to win 4, but this didn't quite work out that way.
Who brought you into this league, Ryan?
I am going to congratulate Ed. It was a great draft. I mean, you really got to point back to that. I mean, just his overall presence being there, picking his own players, then playing his own players throughout the year. Really good, boils back down to just a great draft.
Yeah.
It felt really good dropping all those
I
Browns.
will look forward to doing better for my own team in 2019.
You sound like Bill Belichick. It's like, on to 2019.
So are we expecting Ted to pick for you next year?
Well, with his track record, he's 1 for 1.
I think we lost Ryan.
What was that, 1 for 1?
Yeah, I said Ted's 1 for 1. He might as well draft for you next year.
Well, hey, that's not bad. But I was also in a fantasy football league with him and 2 other leagues, and I don't want him to draft for me. Let's just leave it at that. He's got a little bit too much of a hard-on for Mike Evans and Josh Gordon.
Oh.
So you're saying he has too much of a hard-on for maybe Brown players?
What are you trying to say, Ed?
He picked a lot of Browns that I had to drop.
Is that a racist thing?
I would never do that.
Oh, Jesus. Well, unfortunately, Ed, that Brown you dropped was probably one of the best running backs in the league at the end of the year. Not like it mattered.
It didn't matter because I picked up enough guys to kick his ass.
So Ryan, you have the second draft pick if we're drafting as a snake draft again. But you have the second draft pick again next year. Are you going to draft Le'Veon Bell?
Well, I'd have to put some thought into that. We're always an organization of drafting the best available player at that spot. We have to run the numbers, run them through the combine, etc.
Are you sure we're not talking to Ted?
It's really it's too early to tell yet.
Yeah.
Is this Ted Thompson?
Oh, Jesus. You draft and stash your own players, huh?
That Barkley kid in New York was pretty good.
Yeah, that probably would have been a better choice.
He went high, though. Didn't he? He was a top 5 pick, wasn't he?
He didn't go 2.
Well, he did not go 2. Oh. Well, I mean, it turned out to be a rough year for you, Ryan. And did you know that you're Robert's arch nemesis now?
I'm Robert's what?
You're Robert's arch nemesis now.
Well, hey, all great champions need a sparring partner. So I'm honored to have Robert be my sparring partner.
So your whipping post is the guy that finishes middle of the pack all the time?
He does have the 6th draft pick for the 17th year in straight. Well, Ryan.
Yeah, my teams are like either champions or duds. So I'm just gonna keep playing both ends of that spectrum.
See, and that's what we told Robert. You see, every year Robert says, I love having the fifth or sixth draft pick. That's what I aim for every year. And I said, well, yeah, but then you end up with the fifth or sixth draft pick next year. Why don't you do what some of the guys who win the league on a regular basis do, and maybe just bottom out one year like Ryan so he can win the league next year? And he's like, nah, I think I'll just draft sixth again.
That didn't work for Ryan.
Yeah,
last
I mean,
year.
I'm not here to make playoffs, man. I'm here for championships. That's what I consider to be the barometer of fantasy football.
Because I'm not kidding.
I'm not trying to be the Cincinnati Bengals of fantasy football here. I'm trying to be the New England Patriots here. Championships, man.
I'm going to be honest. If we went and looked back at it, I think you have won. You've got 3 championships, and I think you've made the playoffs maybe 5 times in 10 years, but you just win the championship every time you do.
Yeah.
Which ends up usually with a pretty solid payday. I want to say you're in the top 3 in winnings in the league for sure.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. One of the years I won like high points and some other stuff too.
So we should all aspire to be more like Ryan.
Yes, I'm glad that's what we got out of this call today. That was exactly the message I was going for.
All right, Ryan. Well, we got to move on. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, thanks for answering the second time we called you, because I'm pretty sure you were done with volleyball the first time we called you.
Still have our gallbladders and have to, owe a team commitment here to play volleyball. So I do apologize for missing the first call.
Sometimes you just get 4 holes put in your body, and you can't really be jumping around.
I don't even want to know what you do with 4 holes in your body. We're moving on.
I don't hear about your Tuesday night. Yeah.
It was a Monday. Thank you.
Yeah. He freaking missed darts for that. All right, Ryan. Well, we're going to call Aaron next since Aaron is the only listener who's not part of the league. So
all right.
We're going to see what happens there. All right, Ryan. We'll catch you later,
guys.
bud.
Take care.
Yep.
Peace out, Ryan.
All right, yeah. Bye.
Well, that was the most successful phone call of the night for sure. He was, he needed us to call him the first time so he could make sure he had his dialogue ready, I think.
Oh, yeah, I think so. How many subscribers do you have on your Gentleman podcast, by the way?
I think it's 6 or 7.
I mean, I know I'm one of them. Oh, you got 5 subscribers.
Oh, someone dumped us.
How dare they?
I'm pretty sure it was 6 last week.
What some dickheads.
No shit. All right, let's call Aaron now.
You know it's going to be bad if it was Aaron that dropped us.
Oh, it would be.
I can't look it up.
I sure hope he didn't drop it. Can you see who's subscribed?
No, I can't.
Oh. I don't know if I can either.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
He just downright shut you down.
What the? He must have been the one who...
Is not available.
He must have
At the tone,
unsubscribed.
please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Aaron, it's me, Kyle, and Ed sitting next to me.
How dare you, man?
You just ignored a phone call that would have been your triumphant first appearance on the Gentleman Fantasy Podcast. We just got off the phone with Ryan, and it was epic. We were hoping you'd follow that up.
Instead, he just, downright says, "No, not today."
Yeah, he just ignored us. What a dick. Thanks a lot, Aaron.
He probably is the unsubscriber.
He probably did unsubscribe. Fucking dick. Thanks a lot, Aaron. All right, moving on. Oh, well. And I really thought we had something there.
That's horrible. Can't believe that.
All right, well, let's call Zach. See what he has to say.
The daddy daycare himself.
That's right. All 4 children.
Your call has been forwarded to an
Another
automatic
one.
voice message system.
He's probably tucking kids in.
9011494 is not available. At the tone, please record your
2
message.
shutdowns in a row.
When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
You know, Zach, I know you're probably just taking the Browns to the Super Bowl and thinking about the whale's vagina fathers during this baseball offseason. But you didn't have to ignore the Gentleman Fantasy Podcast phone call.
That's 2 in a row, Zach. That hurts. That
my special
hurts.
guest champion, Ed Shimmick's here,
It hurts.
and we just wanted to talk to you. I guess we'll catch you next time. Damn,
This ain't going good again.
we're running out. I guess we're gonna have to call up.
You could call up that guy that took second.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to do that. Let's see if Travis answers.
Well, what the hell?
Hello, you have reached Travis. I'm unable to come to the phone right now,
I
so if you leave a
love his-
message, I'll be sure to get back
I
to
love
you
his
as soon
message.
as I can. Thanks.
Hello.
Bye.
He is so polite.
Yeah. Travis, it's Pope. It's the Gentleman Fantasy Podcast. I'm here with our champion, Ed Shimmick, and he just wanted to rub it in your face.
I just want to know, who does number 2 work for?
Works for. Who does number 2 work for? Yes. We wanted to talk to you about your failures, and I guess you don't want to talk to us, so go fuck yourself.
It's not going good.
No, it's not. It's not going good.
Not going good at all.
It's not going good. Let's throw a Hail Mary out here.
Did Steve answer, or did he hang up on us too?
No, he didn't. But we're gonna call Justin. And I've never tried calling Justin. I don't
Oh,
even
no?
know if he knows a podcast exists.
He probably doesn't,
And it is 9:30.
because I doubt Steve has told him.
Hello,
Justin,
what's going on?
you are
Holy
on the
cow.
Gentleman Fantasy Football Podcast.
Oh, nice.
When is the last time you listened to it?
Yeah. By the way, speaking with you here is your league champion, Ed Shimmick.
Ed, good job.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you very much.
Way to pull out that undefeated season.
If it was only that, that would have been amazing.
It was almost an undefeated season.
I thought you did.
No, I had 3 losses.
One of them was to you, Justin.
One of my actual games I won this year.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was. But let's see if I can get you on that.
Well, it was Bobo, and I don't remember who. It was the game after Bobo.
I don't know who was the second guy.
Oh.
It might have been Justin. Hold on, let me look this up. Yeah, I don't. Nope, you lost to him. Well, anyways, so Justin, tell me about your team. How did you feel this year? It was a rough year for you.
It was.
And don't be using this excuse if I didn't make the draft, because either did I.
That was a good team name, though.
I know, it was a good team name, but I didn't make the draft either, and it worked out pretty good for me.
Well,
I don't really know what that says about myself, but
I looked at that sad panda all year long.
I was very upset that I couldn't make that.
I gotta say, you had the best running back duo in the league. Barkley and McCaffrey just took care of business. The only problem you had was you didn't have anyone else.
I didn't have any support.
None. Where was the brassiere when you needed it?
I know. I don't know.
How do you feel about your prospects next year?
What pick do I get next year?
It's not a good pick. You have
Ugh.
the 8th pick.
but that all depends
You
on
had-
what
you
they
had-
decide to do.
You lost out in the playoffs.
8's no good.
Yeah, 8's not good. But on the bright side, there's been rumblings of an auction draft next year. Are you prepared for that?
That'll be interesting.
I feel like it would throw a huge monkey wrench into the game plan if we went that route.
I could get Gurley again.
That would.
You could if you spend like $80 on him.
On who?
He wants Ted Gurley.
What the hell are
Todd
you talking
Gurley
about?
again. By
You
the
can
way,
throw your whole auction at it.
yeah. By the way, the running joke all season long. Now, for those of you who aren't initiated with the league, which is Aaron, we have one listener who's not in the league.
I don't know. He might have unsubscribed.
He might have. Ted Rumlow, that would be Ed's brother-in-law, drafted for him. So Ed won the league, but he didn't even draft his team. And you not being there, I don't know if you knew that.
No,
So
I should have recruited a better drafter. I gave Luke a list. I think he followed it pretty good.
I was gonna say he claims that he did exactly what you said on the list. I mean, was he right about that?
Yeah, I gave him a pretty in-depth list for who I wanted when.
To be fair, you got a guy
And I
to
think I
draft
gave
for
him
you.
at least 4 picks per round.
You got a guy that drafted for you that I don't think it really ever did that good in the league.
Well, I mean, pickings are slim sometimes, man. You can't all get what you want. Dude, Ed,
When I saw the team, I was really excited about it. And then they didn't do anything but my running backs.
I'm just thinking of the drop you could have put there.
Oh, what?
You don't have that song on there, though.
What one?
Can't always get what you
See,
want.
everybody always wants me to just make up drops on the drop of a hat. I don't understand that. I just can't.
You need a DJ pad so you can just hit buttons.
I do.
He has a pad in front of him. He just doesn't have it made.
I just don't have every song on the planet.
It's like he's not a DJ. Wait.
Not all the time.
You are a professional DJ, though.
Sometimes.
You've done a couple weddings.
Yes, I have.
You should have a lot of songs.
Just remember that, Justin. When you get married, you can hire the gentleman DJ
I have
service.
a personal DJ.
Yeah, just you and me. Well, hey, coming out of the draft, Robert and I did a preview podcast, and you were in my top 4 teams that I liked this season. Because
sorry to disappoint you.
it was disappointing. No, but here's the reason why. Because you had the all. Did you just spill a beer?
Nope, I didn't open it yet.
Oh, thank God. Whew. You had the all wild card team. It was all guys that were either going to take a leap or weren't. And, Barkley and McCaffrey definitely, definitely outperformed what I thought they were going to be.
Those were good picks. I don't know about that Winston.
Weren't bad.
Yeah. But, I mean, really, Kenyon Drake wasn't bad. Matt Breida was good.
Did you just say burrito?
No, Breida. Yeah, Ed's hungry.
I might be a little drunk.
Oh, but for most of the year, Breida was good when he wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, you were legit 4 deep at running back most of the season. Your wide receiver situation was tough, and so was your quarterback situation.
You should never take Jimmy Graham.
Should never who?
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham's just no good.
Yeah, I had high expectations for him this year, and he completely failed every one of them.
I'm going to say Rodgers failed him.
I think Graham's going to be out of the league in a year or two. If not this year. He's not the same guy anymore.
No, he's missing it now.
But yeah, aside from you had a rough year, there's always next year, and we look forward to seeing you very soon. When's the next time you think you're going to be up in the area?
I haven't talked to Wesley in a while. So for right now, probably just our party.
Ah, yes. We're going to work on that because at the end of this podcast, now be ready for this, Ed.
Oh, geez.
At the end of this podcast, Ed, you need to choose where we're going to have the party.
That's a very big choice.
That is a very big choice because it's your...
The only thing is...
Wait, actually, should we call Ted and ask him instead?
Fuck you. When Justin does come, I need to see the ninja roll.
Oh.
It is pretty intense. Are you sure?
It's pretty amazing.
I mean, I guess since Ed won the league, I guess he has rights to make each of us do one thing, right?
Who do I get to get the toilet to this year?
Who got the toilet bowl this year?
Because I got to get that fucking thing out of my house.
Well, I mean, Steve won it, but... Wait, you have it?
I have the toilet.
I thought it was lost.
No, I have it.
Shit. Well, what do you know? He's got it. Well, you're giving it to Steve.
Oh, sweet. I get to give it to family.
All right, Justin. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for actually answering.
Well,
you're amazing.
Yeah, you're the best. We'll catch
no
you
one
later.
else picked up for you?
We had a couple good ones, but we had a lot of missed calls.
Those guys are hating on you guys.
Yeah, just a bunch of fucking haters, huh? All right. Thanks, Justin. We'll see you later this month, hopefully.
Yep. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, peace.
Later.
I'm going to edit a lot of shit out.
It's going to have to happen. Fucking Los those I'm going to answer. Oh.
Your call has been
Son
forwarded
of a
to an
bitch. Motherfucker.
This is Sergeant Robert Rushlow.
What the hell?
All right. So, I guess this is the end, guys.
Just nobody wants to talk to us.
Nobody wants to talk to us.
It's horrible.
Well, it's time for the big reveal. The most giant, massive reveal of all time. Ed, you are the league champion. Where would you like to have your fantasy party? And it's not in your pants. That's not the answer.
I would hope there wouldn't be in my pants because there shouldn't be any pants if it's a fantasy.
That's a very good point.
I mean,
in the whole wide world in Manitowoc County, where would you want to go?
I guess we should help our local establishments and probably just go to round them up.
We could do that.
I mean, they tend to cater us pretty good.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Our fantasy football party will be at Roundup. I will be calling I shouldn't say calling. I will be texting around to everyone. So if we can cement a date, hoping for potentially not wild card weekend maybe, but the weekend after that, which would be maybe the 12th or 13th. Ed, are you open?
As far as I know, I am.
And you see, the best part about this is Ed doesn't work at the nuclear plant anymore, so we don't have to go every other weekend for Ed.
That is true.
So, hooray for Ed.
I get to drink my head off like I am tonight.
That's right. All right, well, it's the first part of the finale of the Gentleman Fantasy Podcast for this season. I am Kyle, signing off with my buddy Ed.
Hello.
You guys have a wonderful weekend. This Gentleman Fantasy Podcast was brought to you by the cell phone answering machine, the only thing that answered most of our calls tonight.
Bunch of dickheads.